Hi guys, welcome to Unidentified Podcast. I'm here with Lito and Ed, and yeah, we found this topic based on something that we shared in the group chat, and it was something that sparked my interest, and I thought about sharing it. And yeah, Lito had some questions about it, so I thought about sharing it in as a real topic. Well, what actually caught my attention was, of course, Russel Brand is here with Flagrant, is a comedian. And Flagrant has a podcast where, yeah, he interviewed Russell Brand. And in it, they started spinning off in a snippet about enlightenment, what we exist, how we are here on this planet, and the reality we live in. And based on the spin-off, I'm gonna show the video for yourself to see. And I wanted to ask to see what, yeah, your guys' opinion was. I will share mine, and yeah, I'll run the video.
Infinitesimally small, but also that all reality is held within your consciousness. There is nothing that you are aware of that you do not know about. Like, whether it's the Big Bang or the dinosaurs or a political assassination.
Okay, first point. There's nothing in your consciousness which you are aware of, which does not exist, which you do not know it exists. So everything that's in your mind, in your little conscious mind, is already there. From the Big Bang to whatever you talk about, whatever you think about, it's there.
Even if the information is wrong.
That's the point.
So how do you learn then, the guy?
You learn by, they say, if you go into the Buddhists say, if you go into yourself, you will find the answers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I just don't think that may, in my opinion, that may not apply with everything. But okay, let's watch the video and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Quantum physics, all of that exists within your individual awareness.
No. It's like, I think the trickiest thing about like essentially waking up, and I've seen a lot of celebrities sometimes suffer this. I think Jim Carrey suffered from this. When he woke up, he got dark. When he realized, I think his coping mechanism for the world was, well, nothing's important, nothing matters. And when you start really believing that, you go, oh fuck, well nothing matters. Well, why should I wake up? Why should I go to the grocery store? Why should I be in a comedy?
The nihilism is crippling.
The nihilism is fucking crippling. And there's another side to it, which I think he's at right now, which is like, okay, nothing matters, but life is what we make of it, and we need connectivity, we need relationships, we need community. It makes us feel good to help one another and treat one another good. So like, but getting from nihilism to this is important. What a fucking joy it is that we get to be here.
I just don't want to lose this. I would never think it's true that nothing matters. Now we do have to be careful with that, with what matters and what doesn't. But nothing matters is something very dangerous and very obscure to actually like get hung up on. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but what I believe Jim Carrey was trying to say is like going to the Grammy and him being held at a higher point than anybody else. He also makes mistakes. He also sins. He is also lost, same as you and I. Okay, he has questions, and all these issues. Yeah, he have money and he is known worldwide. Yeah, but that doesn't take him out of the actual equation of life. Has nothing to do with life. The circle that we created, like paying taxes and doing these things, that's something that we have created to organize ourselves. Does that make sense?
No.
But the actually saying that nothing matters, we got to make sure we understand that before we continue with that. But
I knew that this would trigger you in the sense that you would want to say something. But
Okay.
good point that you added, and of course, it's not that nothing actually doesn't matter. It's just the idea that got stuck into believing that it was so.
A lot of people don't make that jump. That's fucking tough, man.
But we have to make that jump, Andrew, and there's a reason to make it. In that jump is anticipated in all of the great ideologies. In Islam, in Christianity, in Buddhism, they tell you this. It's an illusion, but you have to participate as if it is real. You have to find the beauty in it. You are creating reality while you're living it. You are God. The Father and I are one. It's like trying to tell you simultaneously, yes, it's meaningless, but you invest it with meaning. You create purpose. The Tao. You are the path that you are walking.
So I think that's probably more than enough, but that was the thing that actually caught my attention and held me there. And I just
I'm sorry, go for it. No.
I just wanted to say my opinion is I think and I feel a certain way about the reality I live in, as in that is something that based on our perspective we live a certain reality based on the perspective that we choose to take each day, because we can change our perspective, and with our perspective that changes our reality. But where it not clashes, but where it doesn't coincide with this idea is that we live in an illusion of which we have to actually live as it was real.
Go deeper into how you understand this.
What I understand from it is that the fact that you, me, or whoever acts, you're already part of the reality that you're living in, part of this illusion. You're partaking in this, what they call life, and creating as you go. You create ripples. We create ripples as we speak, as we talk, as we move ourselves through this. With our own energy, we move through this void space, what you call it, consciousness, reality. And that's where it becomes, for me, a little bit vague, as in the sense that the connection with this part and somebody else's perception of reality, is it not the same or is it different? That's where I get lost. That's just me.
I still don't quite understand where you're getting at. Is it me, Ed, or do you get it?
Well, my take is just different. I think that what they were saying is that there really is no meaning to life, but you just give it your own meaning. You just decide what you want to do. You make your own purpose. And the reason why someone like Jim Carrey would be nihilistic is because he's fulfilled his purpose. He's did everything that he set out to do. Right? Like, he's on the top of his career. He did everything he wanted to do. He was a comedian. He's the best comedian in the world. He's got all the money. It's like, what do you do now? There's nothing for you. There's no other accomplishment that you could possibly have.
I see that.
That was...
Isn't that what made it okay? Because do you think he was already aware of his capability to make reality?
Yeah, but he did it. It's like you do it. Like, that's why, like, a lot of these celebrities, like, they get into drugs, they get into all type of crazy stuff. They start hanging out on islands and stuff. It's like you've done everything. It's like what like, you have nothing else to strive for. You to me it's
so somebody
it's like Andrew Tate would say, like, the worst thing you could do is be someone who's born rich. Then it's like, you're there. You're like, okay, well, now what do you do? Some people can figure it out. They can find a purpose. They can make a purpose for themselves, and some can't. And they go into these, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, not nihilistic, but hedonistic sort of life, where you're just seeking pleasure and drugs and.
Yeah. You're seeking to feel something, even if it's in a negative way. I see what you mean. I don't have the proper word for it. I'm sorry.
I think like normal people like us, like our purpose is like, it could be like taking care of your family or just day-to-day living and making enough money and working, and we can get caught up in that. But people on their level, they're there. Like, what do you do when you got $100 million in the bank? You don't have to work anymore. Like, what's your purpose?
So somebody like me could not reach that point without accomplishing everything I have already decided.
Yeah, if you had all these accomplishments, boom, you've done them.
But this is the thing, okay? So I just want to bring to, forward this thing, okay? So I think Nagayan was correct in assessing that I was going to react to a certain point into that conversation. But at the same time, I don't know if it was a coincidence or if it was meant to happen or anything. But to be honest with you, bro, like, I hit you up. And I was looking to have a conversation about this with you, Nagayan. Exactly this. And you end up sending that.
Really?
Before I told you. I didn't tell you that. That's why I told you, hit me up in private, because I wanted to send you so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And you ended up sending that. And that's why I didn't even have that conversation with you, because you ended up sending that. And, it kind of shifted, whatever. And I ended up asking all my questions, but in a different way. But I was wondering about my existence.
Yeah.
I'm self-analyzing myself constantly, but something I don't do often enough is like looking into my actual existence. I look into my actions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like my day-to-day actions and reactions and how I behave when something happened or something was left. And I analyze my reactions constantly. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, you shouldn't have done this. You should have behaved this way. You could have done this instead of this. And that's kind of how I evolve the way I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about existence itself, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wanted to ask you was this. And is that, like, I was gonna plain ask you, like, are you real?
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, are you real? And I just wanted to see what you were saying, because like once you sent that, and I'm let me say this to say that. So I just wanted to text you, like, are you real? Just to see what you were saying. I send you odd things all the time, right?
Yeah, I know.
Very odd things. So yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, are you real? Because I come across all these videos where people are calling each other NPCs and this and that, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But these people are NPCs most of the time.
What's the definition of NPC?
Why would you say you don't like NPC is a non-player character?
Yes.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, most of these people are non-player characters.
I kind of understand the idea why you would do that, but the problem with calling people NPC, like, I think that idea will lead to shootings and to people killing each other and people.
How do you figure that? An NPC is just someone, they don't think for themselves. They're not critical thinkers. They don't form their own opinions.
Agreed.
These are most people you talk to. Like, you know everything they're gonna say. You know everything they believe in. You know whatever they're saying on TV. That's what they believe. That's you.
Once again, But this is the problem right now, right? The problem is that not everybody knows what you know, and not everybody thinks how you think. You understand? Not everybody understands what you understand and in the way you understand it. And that is dangerous. Not everybody is capable to analyze and come to the same conclusion as you. And then like I seen like shootings or people like killing other people and stuff like that is out there. And I heard people calling each other like I'm about to like bust these NPCs and stuff like that.
I never
That's
heard of nothing like that.
dehumanizing.
Gonna bust these NPCs.
I came across this one video, not like everybody says that same exact thing, but I think it's dangerous to call each other NPCs because
I think it's good.
non-players-
I like it. It's a good thing. Call these people. Call
I
them.
see that, but you're not accounting for those who are delusional. You're not accounting for those who are not straight in their mind, right? This is just a crazy concern of mine. And then, like, sometimes, well, it doesn't matter. But sometimes I just overthink things, and I'm like, man, like, what's going on? Is this real? Is because I came across videos of also saying that we are just like in a simulation where everybody is like NPCs and you are the only playable character, and everybody you come across is not really alive. It's just a machine that's put there as a distraction and stuff like that.
There's a lot of
And-
people who act that way.
Yes.
No, they act like they're the only real person, and that everybody else is just they can treat them any kind of way, talk any kind of way,
know.
and be reckless.
And you just supported my point right there.
But that
So
I
we
see
gotta
what
be
you're
careful
saying.
with
bro.
those type of people.
I think that's
Well,
something else, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So no, I think it's something else too, and I'm not who to define them, okay? But okay, what was I gonna say? Well, I started thinking about it. I don't know like what I was doing the other day. I think I was smoking or something. I don't know. But I was like, wow, man, is this true? Like, am I really the only character in my own universe? Am I the only one that matters? Am I being held back by all these distractions? And something that crossed my mind, and I tried to analyze the best I could, and this and that, and then Nagayan sends that to the group, and I'm like, whoa. So he trying to distract me over here in the Matrix or something? Like I'm just like considering what's going on. Like, is it just coincidence, or is just like how it's supposed to be? And on top of that, right before that, I wanted to text him if he was real, and then that comes my way. You understand why I would be like, oh, this is kind of crazy. But then, do you have the list of questions I had that I threw at you and stuff like that? Because
Pull them up.
I don't know. Sometimes I get aggravated with you, Nagayan, because you, Ed too, actually, because you guys just throw things out there and just no context, no nothing, or not. Explain your thought process or where you coming from or what you're doing. Don't just throw shit out there. And I'm glad you do, because that way I can come to my conclusion on my own. But sometimes I just want you to actually come out and interact. Same thing when we making these videos, that you cannot just throw information and expect everybody to be at your level.
Yeah, I get it, but that's what at least for me, I say, or I try to explain myself, and I know that my form of explanation is not always on point, that I can get you there or get everybody on my point of where I was or what I was thinking. I get lost in my own thoughts, and that happens all the time. So that's on me. But apart from that, I can pull up the conversation, and yes, you asked the question from why I sent you this. And basically I said Jim Carrey, one point, because I know Jim Carrey has spoken up about the realization he was in, and that this was all an illusion, and this is
he wishes it was.
he wishes it was, but he was out there and he sent out information that was like, okay, what the fuck happened to Jim Carrey?
Nigga, and you know why he's saying that?
He wishes.
You
No.
know why Ed is saying that? Because he's in that list.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Ah, man. That okay. Thank you, Ed.
That's the input that we're hoping for
uh,
every time.
but bro, like I tell you over and over again, I'm not that smart, man. You gotta
No,
try. Huh?
I'm not that smart either. Because if I was really that smart, I would be able to explain my own thought
You know,
process and
no. But what I'm trying to say is that if you send something, I'm not that smart, and I'm an overthinker, man. I overanalyze everything.
okay, you
So
don't have to say that because I'm the same. But
but
indeed, to
it's
get to back
torture
to
that you.
explaining the thing, I get you. We're now in the video. Wanna explain how you feel or how you
No. But I'm saying like, well, I'm saying that to try to say that that's what I do. That's my process, right? But the way we communicate is very important. The way we put the message out there, even we got to make it easier for people to find a way or a place to start. And if we keep just throwing stuff out there for people at your level, then what happens is that we leave certain people behind.
yeah. And then is the question, is that the people we want to have on board or not? And I think that's the same question for Ed.
Mm.
If people don't understand us, is that the people we want to spend time on explaining things that we think they should already know? Or is it of importance that we actually try to explain ourselves, be a bit more clearer, just to have that group of people still be able to follow and track us? And that's, I think, how much would you want to say?
How much does it cost you to explain yourself a little better?
For me, it costs a lot, but not because I don't want to, but more in the sense of I still have my own thought process to think of, and that's my own dilemma. But okay, I will try again, because this is exactly the same words what you said. I said the fact that I've been on this trip and found the same conclusion, which I already said, yet the added, which I didn't come to, was that one has to live the illusion as if it was real. That's the point that we're saying. But indeed, my point in trying to add to the narrative, as to instead of presenting problems to our viewers, problems to others, let's be kind and also find ways to overcome the struggles we face in this dilemma. So actually, what I was trying to say with that is I am trying to bring people closer to the solution, give some positive advice, give some positive feedback to, okay, this is where I went through, this is how I lived it through it. And I know in explaining myself, I skip a lot of steps, which I didn't think they are important. But you actually showing me from, okay, wait a minute, I don't understand you. Can you explain it a little bit more? Can you elaborate a little bit more? That helps me to get that piece out, which actually is missing of the explanation. So thank you for that. And then my question was, based on that narrative, it deals with to be or not to be. That's a Macbeth, Shakespeare's thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that most of the time because the to be or not to be narrative or quote has to do with do we live and fight the struggles that we will face, or do we choose to crawl up in a corner or kill ourselves just to avoid having those struggles, to avoid living life?
I see. Killing myself is not an option.
No. But more not in the literal sense, but more in the non-action sense of it.
Ed, do you want to go first?
But I already went. I just had a different interpretation. Just
Well, how about the problem at hand, like what he presented? Can you tackle that at all, or?
no, he's just just on his own thing there.
Well, it's healthy that we understand things differently and then we exchange ideas. But that's just me. Um, After watching this, because I don't want to go yet. After watching this, I have three questions. Okay, so after watching this, how do you identify this? Before watching this, is this how you thought? And
Can you ask one question at a time so I can respond?
go for it. Yeah. So when you watched it, how accurate to how you think was this?
It was like, I think 90 to 95%.
Mm.
And that's probably because on the illusion part and living life as if it was real, I didn't feel the connection to it. I would change, and I think Ed had a good perspective on it. Instead of looking at it like illusion and reality, take a look at it like I don't know.
But like your purpose, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah, that you have a purpose in life, and once you achieve that purpose, or once you set out for a purpose, that's the goal you go for. That's the life you choose to live instead of
Real quick. So Ed's perspective, okay? So Ed, your perspective is very direct and very like it saves in a sense. It's not wasteful. Does that make sense? But
doesn't beat about around the bush.
Yeah. But at the same time, it lacks a lot of things. And I'll tell you why. Because your perspective is very attached to a materialistic, and I'm not talking about like shopping or anything like that, but very material type of idea. It doesn't include like soul searching or purpose of life, of being alive, of being here, of being who you are.
guys, that's not real.
How is that not real?
It's not real, guys.
So if we have achieved our purpose, we might as well die.
Your purpose might be being an artist, an athlete. An athlete is a really good example, right? Because an athlete, you train when you're young, and then when you hit round 30, 35, boom, you're retired because the new guys come in, right? But you still got the rest of your life ahead of you. And a lot of those guys, they don't have a purpose after that. It's like they get depressed, they get into drugs, they spend all their money. It's like some of them, they can pivot and go do something else. But some of these guys, they don't have a purpose anymore.
So I disagree with you 100% on that. Like, I see your point. But then again, we are just looking at the material self, and if you don't believe that we move beyond that and our existence actually ends when our body decays, then yeah, I guess so. Let's go straight to the point and just worry about this life. But if you believe in reincarnation or in
you're going somewhere like above and beyond where this is what this really is. It's like the purpose of your life. We ain't talking about souls and spirits. Like, you can be something that's actually, you can be a writer, you can be an architect, you could be, Mr. Pellegrino. You heard that he actually did pass away.
yes.
But his purpose, he liked running businesses and doing things like that. He didn't even have to come back. He just wanted to be running a business.
Now that's over with. He's done. So he's nowhere right now. He just doesn't exist.
That's not the conversation. You're going somewhere else. I'm not talking about souls and spirit. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, he does have a point, right?
Because all of that, which is beyond our current consciousness, is actually all hypothetically speaking, because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But at the same time, if you talk about God, if you talk about religions, if you talk about Islam, then you're touching a certain point of spirituality, or I don't know how to call it, but yeah, Russell Brand just identified himself as, not per se himself, but people, the creator, as God. If you create, if you exist, if you put out there, you are one with God.
But okay, according to Edward, once you talk about God, you're going beyond the point of this conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's forget about God for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
How important is it? Like, what you define as your purpose, Edward?
I'm an artist. I've always been. I'm a creator. That's what I like to do.
Uh-huh.
That's my thing, man.
So with doing this podcast, you found your reason of being, right?
No, it's not this podcast. Like I've been doing this since I've been a little kid, before we even had internet or podcast.
But we creating job, not job, because you're not getting paid for this. But we creating a reason for you to be here then.
No,
because now when we end this video, you gotta go and edit and fix it and
that's not really what I do, Angel. That's like a nuisance. That's not really what I do.
But that's living life, right? That's what you like to do, or not?
It's part of your purpose right there.
No, it's not part of my purpose. I don't like editing these videos.
No, I'm saying art and
like being creative. You know, editing videos and stuff. That's work, man. But being creative, yeah.
Yes. So, when is it good for you? When have you drawn enough pictures? When have you?
The thing is, you might not understand this, right? But like throughout my entire life, my skill level constantly improves and gets better and better and better and better. Yes. And I can, but you don't.
That doesn't detach from my question, though.
But I look at you. You never improve. You never get better or anything, and you don't have
your perspective. But
you don't have this competitive spirit in you, like me, to look back and say, "Wow, look at what I'm able to create today compared to what I was doing last year or 10 years ago." Yeah, that means a lot to me, because I'm always improving in the things that I do.
Yeah.
When I can look at like professional artists, some of the best, and say, "Yeah, I'm up there with that. I can do that now." I remember when I first started doing this, I couldn't even comprehend what these people were doing. Now I'm like, yeah, I got that. I can do that.
I see what you mean. Okay. That's fair enough, man. You don't see me as a competitor, but not in your field.
But the thing is, like, what if like I was like right there, like at the pinnacle, like I achieved everything, and it was like no like and you don't have
the question he's asking actually.
Yeah, that's what I just asked you though.
Oh, like when is it? No, I'm not there yet.
But what if?
I don't know, man. I would also have to be rich too, so I also have to be.
Yeah, dude, that's also your purpose in life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Everybody's different. You got some of these guys that can be happy, you know. Like you take someone like Andrew Tate, you know, he's rich, you know, he's happy, he enjoys his life. You know, a lot of these other celebrities, they enjoy their lives, and some of them they can't handle it.
The truth is, okay, you shouldn't say that. You don't know if he enjoys his life.
Okay,
he
right.
Seems to.
Because I can't trust my own eyes. I guess I can't trust my own ability to judge a situation.
You know what you see.
Me. Okay. Let's go with this. Me being able to spend all the money I want. Me being able to buy what I want whenever I want. Me being able to be free and go out whenever I want. I choose to get the girl I want, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are happy moments, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's happy. I'm sorry. Like, so there's a guy, right? He's a Puerto Rican rapper, right? And he has a lot of money, and he's been number one. I don't know for how long. And he said this: even when I was in number one, even when people were celebrating me for me, even when people was following me and doing what I asked them to do, I was not able to fulfill myself, like feel like complete.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm talking about a specific person. I'm not saying everybody that's got money is happy. Like if you want to talk about comedians, you talk about what Robin Williams, he hung himself. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not saying just because you got money or whatever that you're happy. No. But there's some people you look at in that position, like, yeah, I think they're happy. I think they're.
But what I'm trying to say is that you don't know if Andrew like feels complete. Like you don't know.
Like if you ask me, if you say, do I think Andrew Tate is happy? I would say, yeah. If you ask me, do I think Bill Gates is happy? I would say probably not. I think that dude's tortured. If you ask me, like some other celebrity or something, like I don't know.
I see what you mean. I understand. Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do is, so this video doesn't go too long.
Too late for that.
I'm gonna back up, and I'm gonna allow Nagayan to do his thing. Okay. But I do see your point. You do have a good point, but it's very incomplete because you only speak for your perspective.
Because it's objective reality. I'm not going into the spirit.
Just speaking for the now. We can see what we have now and we have accomplished now, and that's all that we factually can talk about, because we can't talk about the millions we have gained because we haven't gained it. What if we have millions? We would be a different person by then.
Yeah. I guess.
So coming back to the beating, not beating up around the bush, I think your point is a very valid one. And the way I reason or go about thinking about such topics like enlightenment, God, and the existential questions that we might have in life is, I take the longer route. The I go in such a way that I hope that I cover everything and every possibility before I exclude one that doesn't suit me or fit me or doesn't resonate with me. And that's the thing I wanted to come back to, is that I wouldn't say life is an illusion, but what I would say is that with every ripple, with every sound you make, you are making life happen. And not per se as to put it as a burden, but as something that's very beautiful, because I interacted with little kids, and I'm gonna be a dad very soon, probably. And I think that has me also thinking about these questions about passing my what do you call it, lessons onwards. And that for a child, every interaction is a new one for a newborn. And the way that they see the world or that they see you is based on your own perspective, or based on your own experiences and how you have lived through them, how you have overcome them.
I think you lead that perspective, but at a certain point,
they become their own person.
yes,
They become their own being. They are already their being.
I don't know when that happens. I couldn't explain it or define it, but yeah, you lead you lead expressions. You need a way of processing information. You lead that, but I don't know when that happened or whatever. But I mean, you see, I walk out of the room when you with the kids and talking, and I trust them to carry a conversation and analyze what the feedback you give them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think as you go, the ripple thing, like, is a good way of putting it. As you go, you are creating moments. You are manifesting, in each and every way of the word.
And yeah, just as last, because this is maybe a feedback for myself, I think, as well. Don't take this burden as heavy, which I already said, but take it as something that you can inspire people by simply doing. by simply being, by simply going about. Of course, according to your morals and your standards and your, how do you call it, parameters, which you live by and carry yourself by, these will also be the thing that that people will have their judgment or interpretation on, and the only thing you can hope for is that it's for the good and the positive, and that's what I hope for each one of us, to be able to positively influence others. You have so much to say.
I talk too much, but so I don't know.
Anyways, I don't know if we want to cut it at this, or if somebody else has something to
Ed,
say.
did you at least follow the idea behind what he's trying to say?
I was trying. You know, we just got different interpretations. That's all. It's no big.
Yeah. And that's fine. And like I said, I love that. I want you to think differently than me because I want to feed off what you got. Like, you know what I mean? I think you're wrong all the time, but yeah, it's all good. No, but like, thank you for bringing that to the table, Nayan. I don't know if you are a real person or if you're trying to distract me into thinking and overthinking and stuff like that, but I do appreciate you giving me something to think about all the time. And once again, what's your anything you have to say about your perspective?
No, I already said it. You know, it's just I don't think we got to go into the spirit realm. I think he was saying that, you know, life, it really doesn't have a purpose. You know, you got to you got to make your own purpose. I think that's what it was.
In an Edward translation of it.
Yeah, got to make your own purpose. And Jim Carrey, you know, some guy like him, he lived out his purpose, and he got nihilistic, and he thought nothing mattered anymore.
Yeah. Well, he did lose a lot too. He did.
Yeah,
he
man.
made
Yeah.
mistakes,
That's what
I
happens when
believe.
you mess around with the Illuminati. Yeah.
But yeah,
They have to sacrifice your girlfriend and all that. Yeah. Rough.
Do you think he feels that was a mistake? And he did it. Allegedly.
Yeah. That was a mistake.
Do you think like he regretted it? Was it worth it?
I don't know. I mean, he's on top. I mean,
I love Jim Carrey, by the way. He's my favorite. Of course, I'm not the only one that feels that way, but I also see what Ed is saying. Only you got King Judges. I don't know, man. I'm no better than anybody. Well, I'm better than that. I didn't sacrifice anybody or.
yeah, he's still your boy. You have no problem. You act like that didn't happen.
I just don't know if it happened.
He was on that list, and I think he was one of the people who's talking about suing. Like, who you gonna
You have
sue?
a second to talk about that? Okay.
No, we ain't got to
He
sue.
went in a TV show, right? When you in the Illuminati, you're supposed to show respect at all times. And he went into that TV show.
Yeah, we're saying that, doing all that. Like he joking.
And after that was when he lost his girl, his wife to be.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be before that? He was already big by the time that sacrifice was made.
Dude, I don't know. These guys, man.
I don't know how it goes, which way it goes, but if you sign a contract or a pact with the devil will come and claim it's a soul for a soul whenever he feels like it.
Mm.
But in which order it goes, I don't know.
Mm. That's a good point too. Well, if you trying to find out, don't, not me, not it. No, don't put my name out there. Uh, but
Yeah, the Illuminati would come to me, be like, "Yo, we can make you like the best artist. You would be right there on top."
bruh,
I'm like, "Angel, this is his address." No, I wouldn't do that. Shit. I
Put him
wouldn't
on
do
the
that.
list while you at it. He really wants to go to the island.
yeah, he's trying to make a few trips, at least 3 a year, and he's down. Listen, I don't know. If you had to give somebody, wouldn't you give like one of these criminals soul or
But
something?
that doesn't count. It has to be someone that means something to you. You can't just say, "Oh, random person on the street." Like it has to be like family member,
This dude
friend.
that's on death row, his soul is no good.
No,
like this
no.
dude is about to be
No,
electrocuted
that's not
tomorrow.
a sacrifice, man. It's not a sacrifice.
So you're telling me that you find Lito as family. That's what
Yeah,
your
yeah.
Don't love me so much.
The guy is giving me the Illuminati interview right there. Like, yeah, he's family.
How close is he to you? How much do you love him?
No, man, stop playing.
Is there some bromance going on between you?
Listen, this gonna be like he's got to have a good point with that, right? Because you cannot just give anybody out.
No,
It's gotta be somebody that means something, a lot at least to you. So that's a good point. But guys, thank you for watching. Please leave comments. Let us know. Let me know if I'm talking too much. Let the guy know if he should talk more. Let Ed know he's wrong about not believing in the spiritual realm thing. Just let him know. That's cool. Interact with us. We're about to upload stuff to Instagram. We have I just brought a new idea to the table today. Just watch the other things. We show off the Dominican Republic a little bit. Maybe if that's something you're interested in, let us know. Anything. Thank you.
For those who are still around, thank you for watching. See you on the next.
Yeah.
We out.
Unidentified Podcast.
Oh.